Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock and happy Wednesday to you guys. So I'm currently walking my dog, so you're probably going to hear all kind of noise. Birds chirping, all that good stuff. Connecting more to nature now that the quarantine is still in effect. Come with it. So guys, I wanted to make this recording in regards to every woman is not called to marriage. All right, of course, this is a very controversial topic because for some strange reason, there's a misconception among many people that every single woman on the face of this earth have a desire to be married, with the exception of Oprah Winfrey. All right, so you guys know I'm very honest and transparent, yet I'm extremely private. I've always been that way as far as my personal life is concerned. But lately, God has been using me to open up some with my personal life in order to, be transparent in these recordings. So, honestly speaking, I'm one of the females out here in the world who never had that dream and that desire of the white picket fence and the horse and trailer for the marriage, or whatever the desire is that little girls have, their prince and fairy tales weddings. I've never, ever, 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 ever had that dream nor that desire. And I can remember so many times some of my friends would say to me like, oh, don't worry about it, girl, when you turn 30, you will start to feel that pull of wanting to have children and having a family. You'll feel it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sure you hear all that the wind in the background. So when I turned 30, I never felt it. All throughout my 30s, I never felt it. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling, but I don't feel it. But what made it even, I wouldn't say better, but what made it more, I don't know. I've never really had anyone in my personal life, like my family, like including my mother, who ever really pushed me towards that. Sometimes I believe as women, your mother or your family members can start to try to put that pressure on you in the sense of, okay, you're getting older. When are you going to have married? When are you going to get married? When are you going to have children? I've never had that. And I think because my mother, who's like one of my biggest fans, and my family always knew that I was very ambitious, and I've always been that chick who marched to the beat of her own drums. I've never, ever, 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 and I stress ever, been that person to let other people's opinions or what society, deem as successful, or, the family unit. I've never let that stuff instill in my spirit. And I truly know now that has just been always God covering me and shielding me as He guides me as I start to live out my purpose and my calling. Because here's the thing, guys, and I'm not disrespecting the family unit at all. I think marriage is a beautiful thing. I'm honest enough to say that I've never experienced a happy, healthy, come on, baby, come on. I've never experienced seeing the happy, healthy marriage unit ever when I was much younger. In fact, I think maybe in the last 5 years is when I saw an example of healthy marriages. And that's because I actually asked God. Just speaking one day, I was like, God, why do people even get married? Like, everyone I know who's married, they don't want to come home. When they come home, they have this pit feeling in their stomach because they don't want to walk in the house. They're miserable. They're eating dinner in separate rooms. Why? Why even? This is not living. And when I said that, I was just speaking in general. And when I said that, God started to bring people into my life, including a great friend of mine right now. And she's 30 years in. Have adult children. She's much older than I am. Have adult children. And don't get me wrong, she's been very transparent to say, hey, wait a minute now. Things ain't always been, roses. But the marriage that they have right now is so healthy. Like, she travels for work. He's very successful. He travels for work. They don't have to be up in each other's throats all the time, but that respect is there, where that trust is so solid in that foundation that, okay, you do you, I do me, we come together and do each other. And that doesn't mean like, do you feel me? But just, you live your life. Because your purpose currently, your assignment currently may be completely separate from mine. And eventually God may, and I stress may, bring those two purposes together to align as one. But until then, I have to I have to live my own purpose and my own, and you gotta do you. But we respect each other so much and we trust each other so much that when we come together, that thing is so solid. Like, we're not sitting here worried about no petty stuff. You don't have to be in my face all day long. Where I have another friend who's married. I won't say she's happily married, but my point is, like, she works with her husband. Like, they have like little children. Now, I don't know how in the world they do that, because okay, you might hear my dog starting to bark in a few minutes, because here comes another dog. I'm sorry. Like, they work together. They ride to work together. They go home together, and they wake up the next morning and do it all over again. I would lose my mind, probably literally. I'm one, I like my space. I don't like to be smothered. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean, I just like my space, honey, sometimes. But my point is, we all are different. We all are different. You have to do what works for you and your family unit. But now here's another thing. If you're a chosen one, if you're called, if God have you on certain type of assignments, believe it or not, you can get more done spiritually for God if you're not married. And with me, I've never been married, nor have I ever had children. Mind you, letting you in just a little bit of my past life, but I've been literally engaged 3 times, and I turned it down respectfully. But here's the thing. Even before I even found God like the way I know God now, I always knew that I never needed a person to complete me. And if I feel like even though I didn't have a relationship with God, I still knew God. So if I didn't feel like God had designed that person for me, I wasn't going to do it. Why? Just to say, oh my God, I'm about to have this expensive wedding, honey, and let everybody know I'm the talk of the town. Are you kidding me? And for what? For 4 months later to go home to a house and you're miserable? And nope, can't do it. I don't feel like you're the person for me. Now, back to what I was saying. Like, there's so much more you can actually do. When you have a spouse and children, of course, that comes first. I mean, God comes first, but you know what I mean. There's no way you can just hop on planes and travel and do speaking engagements or do conferences or whatever the thing is that God may have you to be doing. You really can't do that with a family. So I think, when God oh my gosh, she's so cute. Oh. Sorry guys, I saw a little Cocker Spaniel. She's too cute. But so you really can't, I'm all distracted, guys. I'm sorry. Normally I'm at home at my desk, but I'm walking, so I'm getting distracted. But either which way, so you can't really do all the things that God may require you to do if you are married and have children. Now, you have a group of individuals who do desire to be married and just never, luck up and have someone propose to them or met that person. Well, guys, I truly believe sometimes rejection is God's protection. So just because you have a desire to get married, God may have ended that relationship or that situationship just because that's not the person designed for you, and it would not have lasted. You would not have remained happy. So he may need you to work on yourself. So you may be in a season of singleness where he requires you to work on yourself, deal with any past traumas, get closer to him, date yourself. Once you become whole, guess what? You won't even be looking for anyone, because you will be so complete within your spirit that you won't even be looking for anyone. And before you know it, If it's his desire for you, then that person will come along. All right. Now, again, if you're someone like me who just never had that desire to be married and have turned down, engagements or proposals, well, this is a different season. And I actually never knew that until, my friend brought that to my attention. Like, okay, now, hear me now. I'm still not waving a flag saying, hey, I desire to be married. Nope, not there yet. However, and I may never get there, I don't know. However, I'm at a place where if that is God, that's his purpose and his will for my life, because he may have, a desire for me to connect with a spouse where we can combine, or maybe not, whatever, our purposes, our callings, and then, impact the world more. But if that's not his will, I'm okay with that because I'm already whole. I've always said a relationship or a marriage should never be a completion. It should be an addition. So if you're someone and you feel yourself really antsy and you feel like, I will never be happy until I get a spouse. You will not be happy when you get a spouse. You have to be content and happy within yourself. And I know that doesn't sound like something you want to hear because in your mind it's like, well, to work on myself is going to take years, and that's more years is passing. Well, honey, the worst thing you can ever do is go ahead and walk down this aisle in a year or two. Well, maybe not the first year because that's still like the honeymoon stages, but eventually, a couple of years, you are miserable. And I mean miserable. And guess what will happen then? You will stay because now you're worried about what people's going to say. Like, oh my God, we spent all this money for this wedding, so we can't get divorced, and now you're miserable. So do you rather be single, work on yourself, which should be very fulfilling because when you're working on yourself, you should be so busy. You should be so busy taking courses. You should be so busy on YouTube researching videos that's going to help you in the direction you want to go. You should be so busy, going back to get certain degrees if that's what you choose. You should be so busy opening your business. You should be so busy doing things that's just getting your footing to the point where you don't have to depend or need anyone. That's a busy season. So you shouldn't even be bored. If you're bored, then there's a good chance that you're just waiting. You're sitting around just waiting. Where are you? I have nothing to do. Well, honey, let me tell you. If you're looking for a certain type of man, like the type of man I am waiting on, not waiting literally, but I know him when I see him, who have their stuff together mentally, most importantly, spiritually, and really is aligned and have his stuff together, he's just not going to want any type of chick. You attract what you are. So you got to have yourself together. If you're still, broken, respectfully, because a lot of individuals in our community are, and sometimes we don't even know it. But if you're still broken because of, generational curses and past traumas, and you still have a hole in your bucket, well, that's what you're going to attract. You're going to attract that. And that, listen, we probably didn't attract that for the majority parts of our lives. These no good children of God. I was going to say no good fools, but these no good children of God. We all done been there. We had the wrong dude or the wrong chick in our lives. But if you're real enough with yourself, where was you vibrating at? Where was your frequency at the time you met this fool? This child of God. So, was you in the club? Was you straight spazzing out? Okay, well, that's what you attract. But if you're trying to attract a husband, a man who really have his stuff together, he's a man of order and discipline and balance and a spiritual man. Honey, listen, you got to bring it. You got to bring something to that table. And you can't bring nothing to the table if you're just sitting there waiting and you don't even have yourself together, thinking he's going to make you whole and he's going to plug the hole that you have in the bottom of your cup. Okay, well, that didn't sound so. You know what? The devil is a liar. It did not. Listen, guys. You guys know what I'm getting at. The devil trying to sit here and play out with some nonsense. But I want to encourage you guys. Please, and okay, I want to also touch on, because I do know some sisters personally who is married, right? And they know that they married the wrong person. Out of desperation at the time, out of just needing a spouse, or just because their parents, and they're miserable. When I tell you miserable, miserable. Don't even want to come home. Matter of fact, got a side dude, got a couple of dudes on the side. I know a few of these chicks. Trust me when I tell you. And don't get me wrong, I'm like that thorough friend. So yeah, we can be cool, and you can call me and tell me about your side dude, right? And I'm gonna listen to you. But once you finish, I'm getting at you now. I'm gonna let you know. Like, listen, I'm not even here to judge you, because we all, at the end of the day, we all need Jesus. But listen, X, Y, and Z, you got to do better. Won't you just go ahead and divorce? If you want to spaz out. But just get a divorce. Why can't I get a divorce? Because we got children. I can't get a divorce because, we got too much money tied up. Man, listen, I wouldn't care if I had 25 children. I don't care if I spent $1 million on the wedding. If I'm not happy, I'm out. Because see, everyone wants to live like the Jones, and most times the Jones aren't even happy. You sitting here looking at, your neighbors who maybe is in this huge house, and every time you ride by to go home, you're thinking, oh my God, look at this marvelous house. I'm sure they're in there. They're just playing Uno with the family, and they're playing footsie. Child, half of them people is catching hell behind closed doors. I'm telling you what I know. Been there, done that, seen it a lot. And I have been around people who may live in literally a 2-bedroom shack. But when I tell you in love, lights off, no water, but in love. You feel me? All right. So that's when you are going based on what you need, what you want, not what society says you should have. So if you know within your heart you've married the wrong person, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to get a divorce. I mean, that's not what I do, but I'm just saying you need to go to God, because maybe God can change your heart, change his heart, and make things work. If that's God's desire, God may tell you straight up, that's not my desire. You chose on your own. So then you got to kind of figure that out on your own. I can't tell you what to do, but God will tell you what to do on that. But so yeah, I want to just encourage you, if you're one of these females out here, or even a guy, every guy doesn't have that desire, and you truly just don't have that desire, but you feel like society is judging you. This is where you have to be firm and planted in knowing who you are. That stuff should never penetrate your soul. Any judgment, any thought, anything. Listen, you're a leader. Remember, followers are following other people. You're a leader. So whatever it is that you feel that is right for you and your heart, your mind, and your soul. Now watch this now. Now you see Satan sending, I'm sitting here walking. Now Satan and sending these two men walking my way. I'm minding my business, walking my dog, telling you all about the love of Jesus. And now they want to come over here flirting and, good afternoon. Thank you. But you know what? The devil is a liar. Let me keep walking. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm doing a recording right now. Oh, child. Lord, send my husband so I can tell these men, look here, my baby's on the phone, honey. Y'all got to go. But yeah, guys. So if you're one of these individuals and truly, like you feel like you're being shunned or people are judging you, please just keep the faith. Keep knowing that you are a leader. You are not a follower. That you set the tone of your life. Most importantly, whatever God has designed for you. Know that you are whole. You're not the problem. They are. You're whole. You don't need anybody. Unless that's what God has designed for you. So yeah. So guys, I want to, I think I touched on everything. This is probably one of my longer than usual videos. I think I touched on everything. The single person, the married person, the person who desires to be married. I think I hit it all. So yeah, just keep pressing. In the meantime, the best thing you could do is make sure that you are, you know what? Be sure that you are working and walking into your purpose and your calling. That's going to keep you so busy, so focused, so fulfilled that you wouldn't be lacking anything, honey. Your girl is telling you. So, yeah. Well, you guys have a great one. Have a great evening. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.